All right, welcome back to another episode of the Mindful Hunter podcast. I'm your host, as always, Jay Nickel. Got a bit of an interesting episode for y'all this week. So, as I've talked about many times on the podcast, doing my first sheep hunt this year, and these are the two lads that I'm going out with. Probably not the last time you'll see them on the podcast. We'll probably get on here for a couple chats before we go. But this week, because we kind of had to do a gear kind of list chat anyways and just see what everybody had and what everybody needed, we thought it'd be a cool idea to do a podcast and just go through the three of our gear lists and kind of do a bit of a compare and contrast and see what we need. Tristan and Spencer, maybe you guys want to introduce yourselves and just give like a quick little blurb about your background.
Yeah, Spence, you want to go first? Take her by the horns.
Yeah, I guess so. You want kind of just a hunting background, or
just a little bit or whatever. Just tell them a little bit about who you are.
All right, so I'm definitely the most rookie hunter on this trip by far. I grew up in Abbey, hunted a handful of times, pretty unsuccessful, but got back in touch with Tristan, and we've been getting out lots and stuff, and now we're doing some bigger trips here. But yeah, no, super excited to go on this trip with you guys. It's going to be quite an experience, I think.
Yeah, man. And you do have an archery buck under your belt, so you give yourself a little bit of credit.
Archery blacktail buck.
Yeah, I mean, that's, and I don't care if it was like a little bit of luck involved. There's always a little bit of luck involved. So yeah, you deserve some credit for that one for sure.
Fair enough.
Cool. I'm Tristan. I was brought into hunting from my old man. Been out and about everywhere since I was the age of about 8. Sheep specifically, I've been on 6 unsuccessful northern BC sheep hunts, and I frequent Region 3 quite often. Almost every week in October I'll be there. So I'm fairly experienced, but never enough.
Tristan is our grizzled veteran sheep hunter.
Yeah.
All right. Sweet. So I don't know how organized your guys' lists are. I think it makes sense to kind of go through section by section, just so we don't have one guy rambling on for like 25 minutes. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Why don't I just jump in then? And I'm just going to start with my pack. And this is kind of interesting because I just saved myself a pound. So I run the Kafaru Fulcrum, and I was running it on a tactical frame, and that weighed 116 ounces all together with bag and frame. And what's 116 divided by 16? That's wrong math. Divided by. So 7.25 pounds total. And then what I did was, on my way up to go bear hunting, I stopped in and saw Omer. And I'll give Precision Optics in Quesnel a quick shout out. People are probably getting sick of hearing me mention this, but if you want Kafaru gear, you can now get it in Canada. No shitty customs, no duty, no bullshit at the border. He's got tons of stuff in stock. You can go in, try the shit on, put your bag together right there. I put one belt on. It was too big, so he swapped it out for another one. Awesome. So stopped in there, and I swapped it out for the new Duplex Light, which is exactly 1 pound lighter. So I went from 7.25 pounds to 6.25 pounds. And the only other thing that I'll mention in the pack department, because normally I carry a rain cover, and I've decided not to bring that, and I'm going to bring that little Z-Packs pocket tarp that I was showing you guys, the Dyneema one, because it only weighs, I think the whole tarp weighs 4 ounces, and the rain sleeve weighs the same. And I can still just take this pocket tarp and kind of lay it, because I never really wear that thing when I'm walking around with my bag anyways. It's only when I'm in camp, or if I leave my bag out overnight, I'll like drape it over top so it doesn't get soaking wet. So I'm going to bring a Dyneema tarp instead, because then it can serve 2 purposes. It can cover my bag, and I can use it for a one-man tarp if I need to, if I was glassing, or maybe if I wanted to just do a spike out or killed something late at night and got stuck out there or whatever. So yeah, that's what I'm bringing for a pack.
Another thought on those tarps. Tristan's dad actually brought it up to us the other day. That 6 mil poly on you use for your walls and stuff.
Yep.
That really thin plastic. It's pretty light, and you can stuff it into a Ziploc bag pretty easy, and same kind of purpose, right?
I think it's great. If it's not going to be something like that, I know Aaron had mentioned, Snyder had mentioned, they're coming out with a new 10 foot by 10 foot tarp that weighs 7 ounces.
Oh, wow.
I do think between the three of us, and I don't know, either we each bring one small one or one guy carries a slightly bigger one, but I do agree having like a secondary glassing tarp is a really good idea. And I know no more than one guy could fit under the one I'm bringing. It's pretty small.
Yeah, I got a big 4 meter by 4 meter too that I've used in the past. And, it's big enough too that if we do get rained in for a few days, right, we're not getting stir crazy sitting in the tents. We have a little common space, right?
Yeah. We could even set our tents up to have it in the middle type of deal.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well let's leave that on the like to decide list. We'll either bring that one you got or see when Kafaru. I can text Aaron too to see if there's a release date on when that new one's coming out. 7 ounces is pretty sweet for 10 feet by 10 feet.
Yeah, I think mine's pretty heavy and it's pretty bulky too. I'll jump into pack, I guess. I run a Kafaru Madus on the duplex light frame, and I have the guide pack lid as well.
And is that the X pack? I was looking at your pictures you just posted. Are you running some X-Pack pockets on that, the waterproof pockets?
Yeah, it's just the whole waterproof lid.
Okay, gotcha. That looks nice. And it's the organizer one, right, with the triangle pockets? Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I've got the old school, just regular guide lid.
Yeah, my buddy Jeff has the old school one too. It's just really big.
Yeah.
Just one big pocket.
Yeah. And does yours have backpack straps in it?
I could, yeah.
Because mine has it like in the back.
Oh no, mine doesn't have that.
Yeah, there's like a little Velcro thing at the top, and if you open it up, and it's just like the webbing, like the 1-inch webbing, basically pops out, and it's 2 straps. And I think the original intention was to use it as a final approach pack for like archery and stuff, so you could keep like maybe some water and a couple of things in there, and you could leave your main bag and then do a final approach carrying the guide lid. But I've never actually used it for that.
Yeah, mine doesn't have that. I could use it straps the way that I got it set up with how the buckles are attached to my bag. I could use it like that, but it wouldn't be very effective, I don't think.
Yeah, fair enough. What are you running for a bag, Spence?
I got mine's a few years old, but it's an Eberly stock mainframe, the F1 mainframe. I don't know if you've heard of that. And then I have a dry bag that's probably, I think it's about 6,700 cubic inches. And then I have a backpack from them too that zips into the frame. I can't find it online anymore though. It's probably 4 or 5 years old, but same idea, but pretty big size. So I'm just kind of going back and forth which one I'm going to use. But yeah, we'll see.
Does your dry bag, do you use it like a sleeve and just slide it inside the bag and then put all your shit inside it?
No, I just stuff everything inside that, or I'll use the actual backpack, or I can even zip in the dry bag under, like behind it, and like stash like, the rice and chicken Mountain House. It fits in there nice. And then put the bag and strap the bag on as well. But kind of got to fit everything in there and figure out what the best way to carry everything is.
Okay. Sweet. Okay. So I'm going to do camp and sleeping gear. So I'm bringing a Hilleberg Nyack, the Big Agnes Q-Core SLX in wide long, an Enlightened Equipment Enigma quilt. It's an 850 down. And I think it's rated to like -7 degrees Celsius. I'm not sure what that is in Fahrenheit. And then I upgraded this year and I got the Sea to Summit Arrows Premium Deluxe pillow because I'm a side sleeper and I need something place to like stick my hand so it doesn't fall off my sleeping pad. It drives me crazy. So my whole sleep system is 7.1 pounds. Tristan?
Cool. Sleeping pad, I got the Big Agnes Q-Core SLX wide and regular length. So I think it's 72 by 25, I believe. Dimension wise, I think that's
what would mine be? Maybe
wide
75? Because I got the wide long.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And then I got light and equipment quilt, same as you. Except I think mine is a negative 12 degrees C, 850 fill.
Oh, you did go. I thought you went synthetic for some reason.
I tried. They didn't have one cold enough.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. And then I run a Trekology pillow, just one of the cheap ones off Amazon. It has that strap that goes underneath the pad. I have the Sea to Summit one too, but it always floats away from me when I'm sleeping.
I know. And what pisses me off is that my slick bag from Kafaru, it's got this like little hoodie in it that like folds over, and it's makes a pocket for the Sea to Summit pillow, and it sits right there. But I'm with you. My pillow tends to slide around a bit, so I'm going to have to figure that out.
Yeah, but that's what I run, and I think it's about right now. I have it.
And what
it in my Hilleberg Nallo 2 GT. Spencer and I will be sharing that.
Gotcha.
So all in all, I'm running that's 8.13 pounds or 130 ounces on the dot.
But then you can kind of split the tent. What's the Nallo 2 weigh?
5.5. Exactly, 5.5.
That's pretty fucking sweet, man, for two dudes.
It's a palace for two dudes.
Sub 3 pounds. And you've got the big vestibule for like cooking and your bags, and I like that, man. That's a good setup.
Yeah, the vestibule is 2/3 the size of the sleeping area, so it's basically two big sleeping areas essentially.
Right. Hopefully we don't get rained in for too many days straight and you guys can kill each other.
Yeah, that may be a little rough.
Yeah.
Spencer,
see, I snore. I feel bad. Like I would feel really bad sleeping in the same tent. In fact, I might set my tent up like 100 yards away just so I don't wake you guys up.
Yeah, closer the better to scare the bears away.
This is true.
Right on. All right, I'll get into my stuff now. So I got a Marmot sleeping bag. It's rated for -6 Celsius. The tag's worn off, so I don't actually know what model it is, but had that for a few years. Common theme here with me.
I love it, man. This is the best.
So then I got an inner liner for it, depending on the temperature. And then I have one of those NASA blankets. It's like a special tarp, like pocket tarp kind of, and you can slide inside it when it's raining.
Like a bivvy?
Kind of, yeah. But it's, one of those NASA blankets. So it's nice in an emergency.
Okay.
I'd use it a few times. But, and then I have one of those climate sleeping pads, one of those air filler ones. But again, it's a few years old.
Like the climate with a K?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen those. They don't look to be like they're less expensive, but they look cool, and they've got like a weird V pattern or something like that.
Honestly, I've had a few and they're pretty comfortable for me. And again, they're cheap. Like if you pop one, I just go buy a new one because I usually get about a year out of them. But I've had one that's been a few years old now, so it seems to be holding up okay. But
sweet.
And then I don't run a pillow, just the puffy on the head or whatever. So
just gangster. Fuck the pillow. Too funny. Yeah, I need my pillow. Okay, so I'm going to go kind of out of order here because I realized I put my clothing and gear packed up above my clothing and gear worn. And so I'm going to go through what I'm going to wear in first, and then we can do a round of that, and then we'll go in with what we're packing. So base layer up top is going to be a Sitka Core lightweight hoodie. My base layer on the bottom is just a pair of ex officio boxers. And the reason I actually put this on the list, I don't know if anybody knows this, but there's this company, they're called Ex Officio, and they're like $35. And they make the 9-inch long mesh, like, I don't know if you call them like sport boxers or adventure boxers. Like they're made for like wearing for several days and hiking and stuff. And they're pretty cheap. So little pro tip there for everybody. They're really good and they're comfy and they don't ride up because they're longer. So your quads kind of hold them down. And then this is another switch up I just made. So I was originally going to bring the Sitka Core heavyweight hoodie as my second insulation layer. And I'm going to leave it. And I'll explain why when I get into the gear that I'm packing, because I'm bringing something else to replace it. For pants on the bottom, I'm wearing the Sitka mountain pants For hat, I just have this Sitka ball cap that I wear all the time because it's comfortable and it dries really fast. For boots, La Sportiva Nepal GTX. Socks, I actually just got 2 new pairs of Darn Toughs, and they came out with, I don't know if they just came out with these or if I just saw these and I've never saw them, but they're especially light and they're over the calf. I always buy over the calf socks because I hate socks sliding down into my boots, but these ones are like, they're really thin and they actually have given me a little bit more room in my boots, which I like. And I have the Sitka Gators on my list, but I'm going to be honest with you. I think I'm probably just going to leave them. If I was going on an elk hunt and I felt like we were going to be brush busting all day, I would probably take them. But I feel like we're more likely going to be in slightly more alpine hiking situation, and they do weigh 10 ounces. And I don't normally wear gaiters unless I'm in snow, to be honest with you. The only reason they're on the list is because Sitka gave them to me, and I was like, well, I might as well wear them, but I think I'm going to leave those. I also have my Apple Watch on here that I'm going to leave. I normally like to keep track of my calories, but we're going in for 12 days. And I think even though I have a charger and spare batteries, I think power is going to be at a premium. And I think it's just a luxury to charge a watch every day. That's not a necessity. Another pro tip, the belt I use is made by a company called Arcade. You can buy it on Amazon for $30, and it's a stretchy belt. I found those web belts, the nylon belts, really don't work for me because I can never get them tight enough. And then as soon as I get hot, like midday after I've been hiking, you know how like you're kind of puffy with water in the morning, and then by the time you've been hiking for a couple hours, everything kind of, you shrink and you got to tighten everything up. Those web belts, I can never get tight enough. So this is like a stretchy material, and I can kind of just reef on it and it stays super tight. And then I've also put my trekking poles in the list of gear that I'm wearing because I'm kind of thinking about like anything that's in my hands or on my body, I don't really count as weight in my pack. So I'm rocking a pair of Black Diamond Trail Ergo Cork trekking poles. And that all together weighs 8.3 pounds. But take out 2 pounds because I'm going to leave the gaiters and I'm going to leave the Sitka Core light or the Sitka Core heavyweight hoodie. So it's about 6.5 pounds altogether.
Cool. I got for a base layer or an outer layer if it's warm enough. I got my Kuiu 145 merino long sleeve, which I'll just wear probably every day. Bottom base, I just got some. I like those 9-inch long, but I just buy Fruit looms.
Yep.
Just whatever. Then I'll throw them away after 2 years or whatever. We're using them for hunting. Top outer, I have a Outdoor Research Feroci jacket that I've had for a while. It's a nice, super light kind of shell if I'm wearing a puffy or if it's just to cut the wind or the breeze or whatnot over top of my merino. For pants, I run a Kuiu Pro pant. I usually run the attack pant, but I decided to try the Pro pant this year as I had to get new ones. My other attack pants are all ripped up. Hat, I'm just going to be wearing my Wild Sheep Society of BC cap, repping. Footwear, I got the Hanwag Trapper Top GTX.
I had those boots. Those are really nice boots.
Yeah, they're good. Taking me all of almost 6 months to break in finally, but they're doing me well now. Socks, I have just some regular Darn Toughs, and then I wear sock liners too, just because I got sweaty feet, so it helps with blisters. I got gaiters on here. I got the Outdoor Research, just the Crocs.
The Crocs.
They are 12 ounces, so I may leave them. I may not. I like wearing gaiters. I'm bringing my Garmin my Garmin Phoenix watch. Just tell the time and maybe count steps, calories, whatnot. Belt. I actually run that same belt as you, that Arcade. I do like them.
Really?
Yeah, I saw it at
You're the
VPO
first dude
once.
I've met. I was funny. Me and my business partner were at like a conference, and he was wearing this belt, and I'm like, "That's the perfect belt that had nothing to do with hunting." I've never met anyone who wears that belt for hunting. That's amazing.
They sell them at the Valhalla Pure in Abbotsford. And I just saw them there. about a year ago. Yeah, and I needed a belt, so just
maybe I don't have such a hot pro tip, and maybe it's like something everybody knows about. And I was like the last guy to the fucking party.
Yeah, I saw their stretches. Like, oh, they're so thin and like keep everything.
They're so
snug.
perfect, dude. Like it just stays tight all day.
Yeah, no, for how much they are too. Like you can't even buy a leather belt or like anything for that much. And then trekking poles, I don't even know what brand of trekking poles I have. I'm gonna say Lecky, or something like that, but they're all worn out. I can't even tell what they are, but they're trekking poles and they've lasted me a couple of years, so they're probably some pretty good ones.
Yep. All right, Spence, you're up.
All right. For boots, I got the Handwags, the Alaska GTX.
Yep.
I'm just breaking those in right now, actually. So I'll be good to go. And then I got the same gaiters as well, the ORs. And I'll probably definitely bring those. I don't like wearing rain pants too much. So I'm hoping I can avoid that and just use the gaiters. But I'll bring some rain pants, but I don't like wearing them. Get a little too hot. And then for pants, I'm ordering the Caillou Attacks, as well as a puffy. I'm getting their Super Down, the Pro Hooded jacket.
Nice.
Have that. For my long sleeve underlayer, I've been running just a Smart Wool, just your Cabela's brand or whatever for merino, and it's lasted me a while, so I kind of actually really like it. And I found it doesn't tend to stink, even if you wear it for a few days. It's really good at not stinking, or I just can't tell anymore, but. Anyway, it works good, I think. And then, the long johns as well. I'll be ordering those, the Caillou, the Peloton, the zip-offs. Going to try a pair of zip-offs finally. And then I have the Seek Storm Tight from First Light for a rain jacket.
Okay.
And then, what else we got here? Don't have trekking poles, but I usually borrow Tristan, so I'll probably be investing in a pair finally instead of mooching off him. And then camp shoes. I'm gonna try I don't know if you heard of the Natives. Those they're like Crocs kinda, but they're a little comfier. So I'm gonna try and run those at camp this time around.
Cool. Yeah, my wife knows the Native guy. I can't remember his name right now. That is an interesting choice. I normally just bring a pair of Crocs kind of tied to the back of my bag.
Yeah, I was always Crocs too, but I figured I'd change it up. I don't know if you got to walk across a creek or something. They're kind of nice.
If you don't have Crocs, if you don't have Crocs, man, I don't think I'd ever buy a pair. They're $65.
Are they really?
$65 for Crocs.
I had to go for foot surgery like 4 years ago, and they gave me a pair of Crocs at surgery because I couldn't walk out in shoes, and those are the only ones I've ever had.
I actually went to I was actually looking around Superstore the other day, and I was trying to buy socks, just regular socks, and I saw they had like the George brand like Croc there for $9.99. So I was like, all right, well, there we go.
Yeah, done.
Sold.
That's hilarious. All right. Okay, so clothing I'm packing. So the first piece is what's going to replace the Sitka Core lightweight hoodie, and it's a Sitka Kelvin active jacket. And I'm wondering if this is similar to your Feroci jacket. Is it lightly insulated, that outdoor or is it just a shell?
Mine's just a shell, but they do sell one that's kind of like a grid fleece as well, but it's quite heavier. So mine's just a shell.
So this Kelvin active jacket is a really weird piece, and I haven't been able to find. I think there might be a similar KUIU piece somebody was telling me about, and now I can't remember it. But basically,
the guide jacket.
It's not a puffy. It has a very light amount of synthetic insulation in it. And it's not a soft shell because it's like, it has some windstopper material in it, but it's a very light synthetic material. Basically, the Kelvin Active jacket actually weighs 1 ounce less than the Core heavyweight hoodie. And the heavyweight hoodie is your typical grid fleece layer. And I've worn the Kelvin Active jacket. I wore it extensively on the goat hunt. And the thing got soaking wet and still kept me warm. And I could hike in it. And because it's a full jacket, I could unzip it completely and I wouldn't like sweat out. So if it was still crisp and I wanted a little bit of extra insulation. So anyways, that's the kind of the solution there. Instead of having a typical grid fleece layer, I'm going to drop that, bring the Kelvin Active jacket. I'm also bringing the Stone Glacier puffy jacket. and then a Sitka dew point jacket. So the setup will be, let's say we wake up, because you know how cold those mornings, those mornings can be. What I can do is I can wear my lightweight hoodie, Kelvin Active jacket, Stone Glacier puffy with the Sitka dew point rain jacket on top of it, just a 100% cut wind. And I think I should be able to sit through anything in that and be relatively warm, or at least be able to tolerate it. For base layers, I'm bringing one pair of spare underwear. So I'm bringing in total 2 pairs of socks and 2 pairs of underwear. I'll wear one and keep a spare. And depending on our proximity to water, sometimes what I've done in the past is I swap out every 2 or 3 days and just rinse them out in the creek and let them dry if we're having like nice sunny days. Otherwise, I'll wear the first pair straight for the first half of the trip and then just swap out to clean ones for the second half of the trip. I'm kind of on the fence. I do have the Stone Glacier puffy pants. They only weigh a pound. I'm kind of thinking of bringing them because I think cold morning glassing, it would be nice. I also have the Sitka dew point pants that I'm bringing. And then I think I'm going to bring the Sitka Stormfront gloves with the liners. Again, just thinking early morning glassing. And then I'm going to bring a Sitka Jetstream beanie. And then that's it. So that's all the clothes I'll be packing.
Yeah, I'm bringing an extra insulation upper piece, or an extra base layer top. Possibly I have this as a maybe. It's a OR Enigma. It weighs 6 ounces. It's nothing. It's super warm though, and I could use it as a outer layer too if my other shirt just gets nasty after 10 days, 12 days. Down, I have the Kuiu Ultra Down jacket hooded. And then I'm also bringing Kuiu Katana rain jacket. Bottom base, I'm debating bringing my 97 Peloton zip-offs. They weigh nothing, so I might as well just throw them in just in case we get some cold. Never know up there in August, at the end of August especially. I'm bringing down pants just because the Kuiu stuff is so light. Like my jacket and my pants combined are 1 pound, so
shit.
It's kind of convenient that way. And then my rain pants are Kuiu Yukons. They're pretty heavy, but I mean, they're pretty bomb proof at the same time.
Yeah.
Gloves, I just bring a pair of those like generic mechanics gloves, like those yellow ones, those synthetic leather ones, like wearing those. I have an extra hat. It's kind of like a bug mesh hat, like a bucket bug mesh hat. Bring that because the bugs are horrendous up there in August.
Right.
They're just brutal. I'll pack a beanie too. It's just a Fjallraven beanie that I have. And then I also bring an extra pair of socks and liners. I'll switch them out as they get wet and saturated. So if after one day, a hard hiking day, they're all soaked, I'll just throw on my second pair and let the other two dry in my sleeping bag overnight or in the sun if it's sunny. And then, yeah, I got these Crocs on there, kind of Crocs, not really, but I got those as a sandal.
Knockoff Crocs.
Well. Yeah. Cheap man's Crocs. But yeah, that's what I got. And total of everything packed is 5.93 pounds, but I could cut that out a bit with some things here, like my second shirt, but we'll see. Little comforts.
Yeah, I mean, they go a long way. You just reminded me to put bug dope on my list. And I actually have a Sitka boonie hat, you know, the ones with like the big wide flat brim.
Yeah, that's what
that
mine
weighs
is.
like next to nothing. I might chuck that in too. Because if we've got some sunny glassing days, man, the back of your neck and the top of your ears just get the shit kicked out of them.
Yeah, that's what this hat is. And then the bug mesh like tucks in to the top.
It like rolls down when you want it to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
pretty
that's
slick.
badass. That's badass.
No, I don't even bother bringing bug dope anymore. It doesn't even do anything. They still attack you.
Yeah, it's true. Maybe it's psychological. I've always been pretty lucky. I can be around people and they're freaking out, like tree planting. People used to lose their shit. And I was like pretty good. But like up in PG the last week, man, when I was bear hunting, they were fucking, I got fucked up. Oh, bro. like just obliterated, like just seething all over you. And like you get back to there was still just shit all over me, man. It was bad.
Well, after last August, Spence, like I got, it was kind of so muggy and the bugs were so bad. We were hiking up in just our rain gear, no shirt underneath, just rain gear. And, after it was all said and done, we got back to the truck and, I looked like a junkie for the next 2 weeks because the only place they were able to get me was my hands in between. There's hundreds of bug bites all over my hands. It was brutal.
That's funny. I wonder if it'd be worth bringing a thermocell. I've never really messed with those until like last year and then this year. Like those work legitimately. Like those surprised the hell out of me how good they work.
Yeah, it depends too, right? Like if there's any breeze or any wind where we're at, like above the tree line, like there won't be too many bugs.
No, but I wouldn't think we'll be bad once we get up high.
Yeah, it's just getting there.
Yes.
Just getting there, that'll be awful.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
All right, Spencer.
I think.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Tristan.
No, go ahead, Spencer.
All right, I only got a few other things here. I got a lot of figuring out to do here, but like just with the cord, I got a quarter zip. I think it's Wind River or something, some smaller brand, but it's treated me well. And then same, I got a full zip hooded windbreaker, I guess, from Under Armour. That's kind of nice to have. But and then some Helly Hansen rain pants. But yeah, after hearing what you guys are doing, I got to kind of adjust accordingly. So, but yeah, and then I was thinking about bringing. I get pretty sweaty feet too, so I'll probably bring 3 pairs of socks and then just rotate them out over 3 days just to kind of help with that. And same with underwear. But I don't know. We'll see what happens.
All right, time to talk about the money. Optics. So this is where shit starts to get ridiculous. I'll actually could do a mini review here too because I was using them for the last week. So for spotting scope, the Zeiss Harpy 95 millimeter, affectionately known as the Eye of God. For binos, I am bringing the Swaro NL Pure 12 by 42s with the headrest installed, which I'll talk about in a moment. Bino harness is an Alaskan Guide Creations Kodiak Cub with max pocket. Rangefinder, I lost while I was bear hunting. It was a Leupold RX 1600. I'm pretty confident I'm just going to buy the same one because it's already set up. Like they have different loads and I already know what load matches my gun and I've tested it multiple times. So I almost feel like if it's not broken, don't fix it. And I'm like, it's part of the system that I'm comfortable with. And I don't like the idea of switching to a new piece of gear this closely before a really important hunt. So I almost think just for pure comfort value, I'm just going to go out and buy the same rangefinder again. Lens cloths and wipes. I bring these little spuds, these little lens cloths that kind of stuff into themselves. And I'm also probably packing 30 or 40 Zeiss wipes. Just in case it's like humid or there's a lot of moisture, like your lens cloths get wet so fast and then you're just looking through wet glass all day. For a tripod, I use the Outdoorsman's compact medium and I have the extension post so I can get up like another, 16 inches. And I have the Outdoorsman's pan head on that. And then I'll have this phone scope case and adapter. So that's all I got for optics. It's 11.25 pounds of glass. I will take a moment and just touch on the NL Pures. I'll do a review for the channel later on. Suffice it to say, they blew my fucking mind. Like, holy shit. Like, I don't even know what to say. That is the nicest glass. Nicest. And I have Zeiss Victory SF 10 by 42s that were I prefer them over the ELs. I prefer them over Geovids. I prefer them over everything. I like the way they feel. I like the way they look. I've looked through all the other glass and I just to be straight up, the NL Pures blow those out of the water. Like they're so small. They're so compact. The eye box is much bigger. And that forehead rest have you guys seen that?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, I don't know how it's not on every pair of binos on the planet. Like, it adds so much stability when glassing with your hands. Like, it takes away, I don't know, 60% of the handshake. And it's like, you can set it at different levels. So once you get it set where you want it, it's just like you pop up the glass, you get 3 points of contact, and you're perfectly in the eye box every time. Like, I mean, listen, the binoculars are $4,000. So it's not like a realistic solution for a lot of people. But if you have some disposable income, I highly recommend. And here's the thing. The reason they're so game changing is that the 12 power NL Pures have the same field of view as 10 power ELs or any other 10 power. So you're actually getting 2x more magnification, but you're retaining the field of view. And what increases handshake is smaller fields of view, because it's kind of exaggerating how big everything is. So little handshake turns into big handshake. So by increasing the field of view, they have also reduced the effect of handshake, or that handshake has on your vision. So you can now basically use a set of 12s for your just handheld binos where you used to just use a pair of 10s. So anyways, super stoked on those. Love them. Amazing.
Yeah, those NL Pures are nice.
Yeah.
Haven't looked through them, but everyone that has just says they're unreal.
Well, we can all take turns.
For spotter, I'm running a Swarovski ATX 95. Binoculars, I have the Swaro EL 10x42s. Bino harness, I actually have the same one as you, the Kodiak Cub with the max pocket, I think, the big pocket at the bottom, horizontal zip pocket. Yeah, it's a good harness. And then a rangefinder, I have this I texted it to you what it was the other day. It's Nikon
Black Max
4K. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's nice. I like it. It's all the text inside is really visible and reads super fast. And I've had it up to 3,200 yards off a rock. So
holy shit.
Yeah, off a big rock face. So it's pretty good. Tripod, I have an Optics Black carbon fiber tripod with a Sarui V5 fluid head.
Yep.
And then phone scope, I think mine's an Outdoorsman's phone scope, but same dealio.
Yeah.
Right on. So yeah, I got I'm running the Vortex Diamondback HDs, the 12x50s. They're definitely poor man's binos compared to your guys, but they've treated me well, so I'll be sticking with them. And then I got Vortex harness as well, going with that. I got a Nikon Pro Staff 3 rangefinder. It's only good to about 700 yards. I've ever got it up to. So I don't even know if I should be bringing that. If you guys both got yours, but and then I got the High Country Vortex tripod for I'll use for my binos and my my spotting scope. But I won't be bringing my spotting scope either. It's again a little underpowered compared to your guys. So we'll go with the big boys for this one.
And I do think with 2 guys with 95 millimeters, like I don't think 3 of
doesn't
us
make
are
sense.
Looking through spotting scopes at the same time. And I do
think
we can
cut down on the weight too.
100%. And I think a tip for people listening, if you are going to go with cheaper glass, I really like the fact that you got the 12x50s and you're going to have them on a tripod, because you're going to get a lot more light in through that objective and you're going to get the more magnification. So it might not be the clearest glass in the world, and there might be a little bit of chromatic aberration or other such horse shit, but you're still going to see a sheet. You know what I mean? So I think you're better off with the bigger glass if it's going to be a little bit cheaper.
For sure.
Okay, I'm going to go over weapon and camera gear at the same time, just because I look at it kind of the same, because I kind of mount it to my backpack. And I'm probably bringing more camera gear than anybody else. But so I'm shooting a Tikka T3X in 300 Win Mag, and I've got the Javelin Pro Hunt bipod from Spartan Precision, the removable bipod. And I carry that in a Kafaru gun bearer. So I don't carry it in a sling and I don't strap it to my bag. It's this little like side mount thing. And then that's scoped with a Vortex Viper PST Gen 2 3 to 15 by 44 first focal plane scope. And I'm shooting Hornady Precision Hunter 200 grain ELDX bullets. For camera gear, I have a Sony Alpha 1, and I've actually just upgraded the microphone. I used to run a Rode Video Micro, and I just switched to a Deity V4, which is kind of an interesting microphone because it's got two microphones, one facing forward and one facing back. And when you leave it on the default setting, you get a stereo channel facing forward. But with the flick of a button, it turns the left channel facing forward and the right channel facing back. So if I want to talk to the camera while pointing the camera at shit, it's set up to do that, which if you guys have ever done much filming, all the time you turn the camera around and you go like point at things in the screen, and you realize later when you get home, you can barely hear yourself because the microphone is on the other side of the camera and you're talking into the back of the microphone. So I thought that was a really cool option. So I'm looking forward to using that. And I'm going to bring 2 lenses on this hunt. And I normally only ever bring 1, but I'm going to try and be like artsy fartsy with the cinematography and the photography. So we're bringing some more glass. So I'm going to bring a 24 to 70 f2.8 Sigma art lens, and then a 35 millimeter f 1.4 G Master. In addition to that, I'm going to bring 2 GoPro Hero 9s. I keep one typically mounted on my head, and I keep a second one. I have actually adapted a mountain biking GoPro mount to go on my trekking pole. So I can use my trekking pole like a tripod, or I can extend my trekking pole and hold it out to get like walking shots, or I can do a bunch of stuff with it. And then I bring 2 Sony batteries and 6 GoPro batteries all together. So weapon and camera gear is 15.26 pounds.
It's a little light, eh?
It's just, if you're going to be dumb, you better be tough.
Yeah.
We can spread some of that around.
Speak for yourself, Spencer.
Well, he's minus 5 pounds for a spotting scope, so he can carry one of the extra lenses.
Yeah.
Well, wait till you hear what gun I'm bringing too.
Yeah, the non-gun.
Yeah, if he shoots a sheep with that thing, it'll be a story for sure.
Hey, I'll try.
Rifle for myself, I have a Weatherby Backcountry TI and a 280 Ackley with a Zeiss V4 4 to 14 by 44. I carry that in a Farg gun bearer like Jay. The bullets I bring, or they're probably going to change by the time we go, but I am shooting Hornady Precision Hunter 162 grain ELDX right now. I'll probably make some AccuBond loads by the time we head out. But
yeah, you weren't happy with those on the bear hunt, eh?
No, not happy.
Yeah.
Not happy. I got 2 grenades, 4 pass-throughs, and then 1 core jacket separation. And
3 for 3.
Yeah, no bueno. No bueno. The camera that I might be bringing, I probably will bring, but it's just a Panasonic Lumix GH5, and then I have a Sigma 16 mil. Then I have a 24 to 70 older zoom lens, and I probably will just leave at home. I like just the 16 mil for some nice angled photos and whatnot.
Yep.
But yeah, that's all I got. And then I got 3 Panasonic batteries, and total all that is 11.38 pounds, which is not too bad. And I got to reweigh some things too, so it could get a little lighter.
Right on.
Let everyone know of the cannon you're bringing.
I actually got it here with me. It's a 45 Colts lever action. Rossi.
That's the smallest lever I've ever seen in my life. You can fist
bear's
that.
leg. So yeah, I might even put a red dot sight on it. We'll see what happens here. So, but yeah, I got these bear load rounds. They're 325 grain. So something happens, I think we're all right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm into it.
So actually Tristan found it and he snagged it for me right away. So got to thank
That's
Tristan
amazing.
for that one. But yeah, it's fun to shoot, man.
I bet.
So that'll be the camp gun, I think. No point in bringing 3 rifles, right? So
no.
But
especially not with that rifle Tristan's bringing. That's a nice gun, man.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah. So, but yeah,
that's badass. I remember I took this guy hunting elk in Wyoming once. He's a good buddy of mine, not really much of a hunter, but a gun nut. He's actually an ex-Marine from the States, so he's like a pretty badass guy. And he rocks up with a fucking Marlin 4570 to hunt an elk. And I was like, "The fuck are you doing, man? Are we gonna like belly crawl into 100 yards? Like what?" Like, and they've got the bullets are like the size of your thumb. They're like the craziest looking things.
Yeah.
I've shot that thing a few times too. She kicks like a mule.
Those Marlins aren't light either. That's probably like 10 pounds a gun right there.
Yeah. Yeah. Solid. Like it's like it feels like billet. You know what I mean? Like it's just anyways. Okay, up next, I've just got like miscellaneous gear. So I'm gonna bring a Z seat for a glassing pad. I have a possibles pouch that I'm not gonna get into it. There's a bunch of like little random shit in there. Lip balm, smoke in a bottle. My kill kit has a Haviland Piranha with maybe half a dozen spare blades. Hunting license. I'll bring the Caribou Gear Carnivore High Country game bags. And I was humming and hawing about only bringing a couple, but like we're in there for 12 days, man. And it's like we could run across an elk, we could run across a goat, we could run across all kinds of shit. So I'm just gonna bring all 5 game bags. Steri pen for water purification, and I'll have some backup Aquamira tabs. DeLorme InReach Explorer for sat phone communication, for like satellite texting communication. And I'm bringing a iPhone 12 Pro Max. And then for power, this is the first year I'm ever bringing a solar charger. I had a shitty solar charger and it kind of soured me on solar chargers. But after doing a bunch of research, I think they've come far enough now that I'm willing to risk it. So instead of bringing 2 giant batteries, normally I'd bring a 20,000 milliamp hour and a 10,000 milliamp hour. I'm just going to bring the one 10,000 milliamp hour, and then I'm going to bring a 21 watt Anchor solar charger that is rated to basically like charge an iPhone in, 4 or 5 hours. And it's the kind of thing that I'll probably either just leave hanging off my backpack while we're walking around all day, or it'll just leave set up at camp kind of the whole time we're gone, trickle charging that main battery and then charging all my gear off that main battery at night. And it weighs 17 ounces, that solar charger. And then the battery pack weighs 7 ounces. So basically 1.5 pounds for power. And that's my random stuff.
My random stuff, as a glassing pad, I'm torn between bringing my Z seat or I have a one of those camp chairs.
Like the Helinox?
It's not a Helinox, it's a knockoff, but yes, a Helinox. But yeah, it's like 1 pound and it's 1 pound, 8 ounces exactly. So I'm tempted to bring that. I've been using it the past. I go it every second weekend, so I've been using it the past little while, and it's pretty comfy.
It's pretty nice. Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
I bet.
But yeah, so I got to make a decision on that. Possibles pouch is just probably the same as any other person's possibles pouch, whatnot. I got to get me some wind check. I put mine down somewhere recently, and now I can't figure out where I put it. In my kill kit, I'll have a Haviland Piranha, and then I have a Benchmade High Country knife or whatever it's called. It's a medium-sized fixed blade. It's like 3.5 inches long. It's pretty good.
I think I know that knife. I think it's is that the one the bro guys use?
I have no idea. It's like $100 and something bucks. It's decent. It has made out good steel. So I geeked out on some knives a little while ago and getting all into all the different steels.
I think it's a really good idea to have a fixed blade too, because it can do things in an emergency situation for you that like a little scalpel like a Haviland's not going to be able to do, especially like a high quality fixed blade like that one.
Yeah, just for an example, like last weekend when me and a couple of guys we got that bear, and we got this bear in this deep valley, and we were getting her all cleaned up and skinned out, and it just started dumping rain. And we were trying to get it done fast, and everyone's Havilands were snapping blades, trying to pop all the joints and everything, right? Yeah. And I was like, oh dear. But yeah, so it's nice to have a fixed blade to do some heavy lifting when you need it.
Yep.
It doesn't weigh very much. I think it only weighs 3.5 ounces, so it's not a big tax. My licenses, my game bags. I have some Caribou Gear game bags. I don't know what they are, but they're game bags. I only ever bring three of them, and then the smaller one. But water purification, I use a Sawyer squeeze, and then I bring a 10-liter MSR dromedary, and then I'll just bring a 1-liter Nalgene. And then if we ever need to pack water up the mountain or anything, we do have that option with the 10-liter dromedary. So that's why I bring that. Satellite messenger, Spencer and I actually have a Zoleo, so we'll be bringing that. My cell phone, and then I do have that same solar charger and the same battery pack. So I don't know which I'll bring. I'll probably just bring the Anchor battery bank. And
have you used that solar charger yet?
Yeah, I charged my phone in an hour.
Really?
Yeah, and like sunny, like blue sky sun. Yeah.
So if it's that good, man, I don't think we need 2 of them.
No, and it's heavy. It ain't like
it's a pound. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sitting over here. I haven't even unpacked from Bear. My office is a fucking mess. It's sitting over there somewhere. It was like I had all these things I was gonna do while bear hunting, but just ended up actually hunting bears the whole time. Yeah, I was gonna test that solar charger, and I never did.
It wasn't fully dead. I was probably at 16%, but from there to 100%, it was about an hour.
And what phone you running?
At that point I had an iPhone 7. Now I have the 11. So maybe the newer ones take a little longer.
Sure. That's still legit though. That's the old one I had was a piece of trash. It was like some Kickstarter bullshit. Yeah, I actually ended up in New Mexico at noon running out of all power and being about 12 miles from my truck and having no mapping device, no GPS location device, no nothing. And had to just figure out my way back to the truck because I had counted on this solar charger being able to charge shit that it couldn't. So lesson learned.
Yeah, no, when I used it, it was like the ideal condition, like not a cloud in the sky, direct sunlight. Like you put your phone in the sun, it was getting hot. So
yeah, cool.
Yeah, but I guess they work. Spence, you got any knickknacks?
Yeah, no, you guys kind of nailed most of them, but like we'll say those Nalgene bottles, they've saved my ass a couple times at night when it's cold, just stuffing them in your sleeping bag with hot water. That saved us up in Lindeman one time, middle of winter. And then, other than that, the game bags. I usually separate all my gear by the game bags. So I usually bring 4 or 5, especially when I'm just using that dry sack bag because there's no compartments, right? It's just a big dry sack. So I'll usually separate my stuff that way if I use that. So, but other than that, no, I think you guys kind of nailed most of the stuff. Bear spray, maybe.
I think your 45 Colt's good enough, eh?
I think I'll pack some bear spray just in case. But yeah, no, I think you guys nailed most of it.
That reminds me, I got to put a Nalgene bottle back on mine. I wouldn't have forgot it, but I didn't list it. And in order to use a SteriPen, you kind of have to have a Nalgene bottle. So, yeah, good look. Cook kit. I'm bringing my little stove. I have an MSR reactor, but I also have a Jetboil Minimo. And I've heard some people give the Jetboil shit. I've had the Minimo for 4 years, and I've actually used it at -20 in Montana, -20 Celsius in Montana, and it worked like a charm. And it does weigh significantly less than the MSR reactor. So I'm going to bring the Jetboil Minimo. This will be a good topic for discussion. I have bringing 3 227 gram canisters, and I don't know if that's going to be like too much, not enough. So I'll be interested to hear from you guys how much fuel you're bringing and if you guys are just splitting a stove. And then I'm going to bring a Sea Summit titanium long spoon. And for anybody who's ever eaten out of a Mountain House bag, a long spoon is an absolute necessity. Unless you get infuriated with fucking pasta sauce all over your knuckles all night. And then I bring 3 Bic lighters. I have them all in different places. I always have one in my possibles pouch, one in my first aid kit, and then one usually in my food bag.
Yeah, I think Spence and I are going to split a stove. I have a couple. I have a MSR, like the pocket rocket with a bigger titanium pot, which is super lightweight.
Yep.
And then I have a jet boil as well, which I think that's the option. It just burns so efficiently, especially with two guys. Just want it to be the most efficient. But for fuel wise, I think what do we usually use, Spence? Like just two of those medium sized ones. I don't know.
Those are the
medium ones,
227s. The 100s are the small guys. The 227s are the medium ones, and then those giant ones are like 400s or 600s or something.
So you bring three of the medium ones, eh?
Well, and to be honest, typically I wouldn't, especially in summer. I think it's because I just came from my goat hunt and I was melting snow for like 60% of my water. And it is unbelievable how much fuel it takes to melt snow. And I was just being like overly cautious. And the Jetboil Minimo, I'm pretty sure it's only 100-gram canister that fits inside the pot. And I've used 100-gram canister if I'm just doing like coffee twice a day. I don't cook breakfast. We'll get into food here for a second, but I'm normally only doing coffee twice a day and a Mountain House at night. And I think those 100-gram canisters would last me like 4 days easy. So I think probably more realistically, I'll bring 3 100-gram canisters because that way they can fit inside. I think 3 227s is probably way overkill.
Yeah, I think those 100 grams, they're like those MSR ones or the Jetboil, they burn for, I think it's an average of 5 days with like the average person's boil usage.
Right.
Five whole cooking days with those 100 grams. And typically I think with two guys sharing a stove, I think I will pack a 227. Spence will pack a 227. I think I'll just throw in like a 100 gram just in case. And then one extra 100 gram in one of our bags or one of the 3/4 used ones that I have laying around, right?
Yeah, okay. So I'm going way over. So even if I bought 300s and you each brought a 227, I bet you we'd have
plenty.
Lots between the three of us.
Yeah, because I don't boil much. Like I don't boil breakfast. I only boil a coffee for breakfast, right? And then that's one boil between two guys, right? For just a cup of coffee and then a meal at dinner, right? So I'm only basically 2 boils a day, essentially.
Yeah. Okay, sweet. That takes care of that.
And then I probably have like 3 or 4 big lighters laid out everywhere in my bag somewhere. Vinyl harness, cooking area, and then the first aid kit, and then wherever the 4th one will be.
Yeah. Floor of the tent.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to add for cooking gear, or was all yours in that list too?
Yeah, we kind of went through that together, but I mean, it might be worth, like I got another pocket rocket too. Might be worth just leaving where we land, maybe in a bed, maybe we bring a bunch of extra shit just in case something, screws up or whatever, but something we could talk about. But yeah, I know for the most part, I think we're trying to go pretty lightweight here. So I think that kind of covers us for cooking.
Yeah. A little bit of just safety gear I've got here. I'm bringing 2 headlamps. And it's kind of overkill. I really like the Black Diamond Revolt, but the old one wasn't very bright, and they just came out with a new one that's 350 lumens that I used for the first time. Did you guys see that picture of my truck getting stuck?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Right.
Buried the canyon, eh?
Oh my God, man. I almost couldn't open the fucking door to get out because it was like so deep. And I had to walk back 4 miles to the house at 11:30 at night. It was in grizzly country. Like, they call the area I walked through Grizzly Alley. I'm like, Jeff's like, you did what? And I'm like, what the fuck else was I supposed to do, man? There's no cell service. Anyways, I got to test out my headlamp on that trip, and it kicks ass. And I keep telling myself I want to buy that little Petzl E-Light for my backup headlamp. But the thing is like $60. And I already have this second Black Diamond Revolt, and like the thing weighs 3 ounces. So it's like, am I going to spend $60 to save 1.5 ounces? Like, it seems, I keep going on Amazon and I just keep not being able to make myself buy it because it just seems like a waste of money. But I do believe having a spare headlamp is a really good idea. And I love these Black Diamond Revolts because they're USB chargeable. So I don't have to worry about, but you can also stick AA battery or AAA batteries in them. So they come with a little 3 rechargeable batteries, and you just charge it with USB. But I also bring 3 backup AAAs. So worst case scenario, I could just put those in there as well. And then I'll bring a little first aid kit. And maybe that's a separate conversation. Maybe at some point on our WhatsApp group, we should all post the contents of our first aid kit. I meant to upgrade mine last year. Like I threw in a tourniquet.
Yeah.
One of those like little, like the actual, like that's got like the twist thing on it. Probably just because I listened to the Meteor podcast and I'm paranoid now that somebody's going to puncture something. But it's probably not a bad idea to compare what we've got in our first aid kits. And then, yeah, that's all I've got for extra safety gear.
Yeah, I got about the same. I think my headlamp is a Petzl Reactic 350. It's also USB chargeable. Then I do have that Petzl Bindi. It's not the E-Light, but the Bindi, but it's the same deal. Super light secondary headlamp that is also USB chargeable. And then yeah, first aid kit. I think mine's actually pretty big. I have a lot of crap in there that I should probably end up taking out, but I do bring quite a bit of stuff, and then a little container of miscellaneous pills for all the different things that we could get into, like Benadryl and Imodium and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, then toilet paper and whatever is all in there as well. Spence, you got any? I think by this time everyone's probably had the same, right? Just the headlamps and first aid kit.
Yeah, pretty much. I guess the big question is though, are you guys wet wipes guys or TP guys?
Bro, both.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm full on luxury when it comes to that. You'll first pass with the wet wipe and then clean her up the rest of the way with the toilet paper. And it's like, I don't fuck around with ass chafe in the bush, man. It's like, that is no bueno. Yeah.
All right. Well, we're on the same page then.
All right.
Yeah. I think all three of us are on the same page with that one.
Yeah.
You forget.
I get pretty anal too.
Trip.
Like I will act like I got the little vacuum pack downstairs.
No pun intended, eh?
That's good. I will actually pre-pack like 3-day packs. And I'll make like one pack that's got like sealed toilet paper and wet wipes enough for 3 days. And then I'll make like 4 of those and I'll stash them in my backpack so that I've always got like, anyways, I take that.
So they don't dry out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm always got like fresh wet wipes.
No, that's the worst. After like 5 days, I used to just put them in a Ziploc bag. And then after day 5, you're like, oh man, these things are just like toilet paper.
Well, because you're not even closing it anymore and you're just like folding it over and stuffing it back in. Yeah.
Yeah. No, the vacuum pack, that's a good idea.
That is a good idea.
It works really good. Okay, we're getting kind of late here, so let's bang through the rest of this. Food. Okay, so I'm going to go through 1 day of food because it's the same every single day. And I'm going to start at breakfast and work my way through. I bring 2 scoops of protein powder every day. I have a Peak Refuel Mountain Berry granola for breakfast. And I put 1 of those scoops of protein normally in the breakfast. I bring 4 packets of Starbucks Via, usually Italian roast, per day. I bring a sweet and salty mix, trail mix, for mid-morning snack. And then I bring a Green Belly Meals, like Pro Bar. It's like 600 calories or whatever for lunch. And then for other snacks, I bring a Honey Stinger waffle, normally the chocolate one. I bring a trail mix. I bring Cliff Blocks, which are like these little gummies, but I buy the ones that have the extra 50 milligrams of caffeine. And then I bring a Cliff Builder protein bar, the chocolate peanut butter one. For dinner, I bring Peak Refuel. They're just my favorite dehydrated meals. And there's like 4 or 5 flavors I like, and I just double up on the ones I like. And then I bring 1 bacon sausage per day that I get from this deli near my house that are fucking so good, man. Like they are, and it's just like pure fat. Like there are literally like 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch blocks of fat just chunked through this sausage. So it's just like a calorie bomb. And I keep that in my bag. And then every time I'm like bored or whatever, I'll just take a couple bites. So I munch on that sausage throughout the day. And then I always bring an electrolyte mix. Normally I just bring Mio, that little squirtable shit. And when I fill up my Platypus Big Zip, I just squirt Mio right in there. I hate drinking water, like despise it with a passion. So I got to flavor it with something. But Wilderness Athletes sent me all that stuff, and I've been wanting to try their Hydrate and Focus electrolyte mix. So I might bring that instead. The other thing that I've started doing, I bought these like tiny little like dope Ziploc bags off of Amazon, and I put 1 serving of my green supplement in one serving of my fiber supplement in another, and then like a handful of like multivitamins and fish oil pills in a third. And I've found taking that green supplement and the fiber supplement, really, like, I'm way more regular, like, because I'm eating those dehydrated meals every day. But I tried it for the first time on the goat hunt, and that helped a lot. And I realized like that's pretty meticulous for most people, and they're not going to give a shit and do something like that. But then I think what I would also do is just take a couple of those and fill it with the electrolyte mix. Because I do the same thing with my protein powder. I don't like having like a big bag of protein that I have to dig into every day. I want to have 1 gallon Ziploc bags that are like 1 day's worth of food. And I want the protein for that day in there and the greens for that day in there. I don't want to have to like mess around with multiple different bags. So everything is just, and anyway, so that comes out to 2 pounds per day and gets me to about 3,700 calories. So I'll have 24.5 pounds worth of food for the 12 days.
Yeah, I think Spencer and I are just gonna buy the same stuff. I usually know what I like. Like Spencer and I both go out quite a bit. We usually know exactly what we like, but it usually comes out to be quite heavy, probably around 2.1-ish pounds a day.
Yeah.
But, it's food we enjoy. But I think on this one, I tried more of a methodical approach to it. So right now I'm at 1.71 pounds a day with just under 3,300 calories. And for breakfast, I have a Peak Refuel, just a variety of granola. So they have the blueberry, the strawberry, and then they have the mountain berry.
Yeah. So
I'll probably get just a variety of those. And then the Starbucks Via coffee, I just have one of those in the morning. Also, I'll probably get a variety. Same thing, Cliff Shot blocks. I'll probably mix in half and half with the 50 milligrams of caffeine, and then the ones that have 150 milligrams of sodium. I'll switch those in.
Oh, that's a good one. I also bring salt pills. I haven't mentioned that yet.
And then on lunch, I'll try those green belly meals. Late afternoon snacks and just snacks all around. I have Honey Stinger waffles. I'll bring one of those. Pro bar, protein bar, and then I'm going to try an on it elk bar. It's like I like having like a jerky or some sort of dried meat at some point during the day when I'm out there. And then I also bring a 1 ounce little baggie of Fritos. Those are always delicious. And dinner, Peak Refuel variety. And then for fat content, I'll bring some brand of nut butter, either it's Pro Bar or Justin's or whatever. And then electrolyte mitts. I like those NRC packets. They're just really light, and just throw them in your Nalgene, shake it up, and it's good to go. So,
yep.
And yeah, that's 1.71 pounds, so 20.54 pounds for the 12 days we're out, which is not too bad.
Yep.
And I think 30, just under 33 calories is probably gonna be quite a bit for guys Spencer and I size, so might tone that down a bit. But yeah, that's what we got so far.
Yeah, I'm wondering if I should tone. It's because I'm coming off the heels of this goat hunt where I was basically like starving the whole fucking time because it's freezing cold and you're just constantly burning calories. But I've definitely packed a little bit lighter before. I might play around with that a little bit. I also hate being hungry, and I'm also significantly larger than both of you dudes. So I require a little more
stealing
fuel.
Our food.
Yeah. We just got to kill something in the first 3 or 4 days and we'll be fine.
Yeah. No. No, what was I going to say? Yeah, I mean, basically the big days when you're sheep hunting up north is hike in day, hike out day, and then packing out whatever you get, right? Everything else, you're just basically sitting on your ass glassing most of the day. So those days you won't be burning too many calories, or I bet you the only reason you'd be hungry and snacking is because you're bored, right? So it all depends.
100%.
Are we bringing like steak and stuff though for when we get back? Like sitting in the truck in the cooler, ready to go, or how are we doing that?
Oh, I don't know. That'll be tough. Like
12 days, right? I was thinking it's not like your 1 week trip where it'll stay cold, right? In the freezer or in the Yeti.
Yeah, we could bring some cold drinks to leave at the strip. But I think
100%.
I think leaving
that's
food for 12 days might be pushing.
Food's tough, right?
Yeah.
Maybe some dry ice, but yeah, I don't know. That'd just freeze it.
Yeah.
No, 12 days would be a little much to leave leaving the Yeti in the back of your black truck, AJ. Get a perfectly cooked steak by the time we get back.
Yeah.
We'll cook it.
Yeah, I think that's basically it for all our gear though, hey, for the most part.
It sounds like we're pretty good. I wrote a couple notes while we were talking, things I need to add: bug dope, boonie hat, Crocs. I'm going to pick up a small dromedary. I've got one of those 10-liter ones as well, but I think maybe having like a second 2 or 3 liter one might be a good idea, and it weighs next to nothing. So I'm happy to do that. The one thing I was wondering about bringing was my Wiggy's waders, but going back over the maps, I don't think
we'll
need
crossing
them.
We're not crossing any major riverways.
And there's some of those rivers in there that I know from being in there before, you're not crossing them in waders anyways.
No.
And the little ones, I think, if you had to, just strip down.
Yeah, rip the pants off, throw the Crocs on, you're good to go.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so, and they do weigh like, it's different when you're elk hunting because you're like down in the bottoms and you're like going, when I was up in a similar area last year, I was like just like back and forth creeks all day, and the waders were amazing for that. But I think for this style of hunt, I don't think they're necessary. So what is the only piece of gear that we're really on the fence about is we got to figure out what we're doing for a tarp. But other than that, it looks like we're good.
Yeah, essentially, like basically we should be all good. Yeah, I'm just scrolling through right now. I don't really see much that sticks out. Just stuff that Spencer and I probably have to go through to lighten us up a bit, like what we'll be sharing and all that jazz. But I mean, 2 tents, 2 guns, 2 spotters, and, the rest is basically whatever. So yeah, I think we should be pretty good to go. And yeah, like you said, the first aid kit, we should probably just go through, see what everyone has, and then it doesn't make sense to be doubling up on every single thing, right?
Yep.
So I think my first aid
definitely not tripling. Like it's good to have a couple of most things, but we certainly don't need like 3 tourniquets. Like if something like we're beyond the need for help. If we're
that's an SOS button on the inReach.
Yeah, 100%. Man. Just pop the smoke and call it a day.
Yeah, exactly.
That's hilarious.
Get to exfil quick.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm the same way. I think I can lighten up a couple things. I don't know if I need my full on. I might just bring the liners for my gloves. Both you guys are bringing long johns and I'm not, and that has me. But I also run pretty hot, and I've got this puffy pants. So if I'm that cold, I think I can just put the puffy pants on.
I've been shit on in August by snow before, so I'm just a little PTSD.
I know the last couple of years, man, they've been
a little bad. PTSD.
Yeah, Augusts. It's such a hard hunt to prepare for because it's like it could be 30 and it could be minus 10. Like
you just don't know.
You don't know. You don't know.
I mean, if Spencer and I get cold, we can just spoon. But I mean, you're shit out of luck and you're in your single tent, right?
I'm relying on the mass to just generate heat. It just normally radiates off of me, so I'm just gonna bank on that. Yeah. All right. I think we're good, guys. Anything else to add? Any other questions?
I'm fired up.
I'm super fired up, man. And like we're like TikTok now. Like
2 months.
We're
Under
sub
2 months.
We're sub 2 months officially as of today.
Yeah.
Exciting shit.
Crazy.
Guess it's time to start adding some heavy weight to the pack while hiking, eh?
So let's touch on
Yeah.
this real quickly, because I haven't done a solo podcast in like 3 months because all of a sudden guests are like coming out of the woodwork. And I know people are a little upset because I haven't been doing like my little updates and stuff. Are you guys doing anything particular for training, diet, preparation? Where are you at in your headspace as far as physical fitness and conditioning go?
I've been trying to sort out my boots. So I bought them last December and I've been breaking them in till this day, and they've just been tearing up my feet. But you know, I figured it up now. It's the 2 socks. It's the game changer. It's the dual socks. Figured that out. But yeah, I've been procrastinating, kind of getting ready for this hunt fitness wise. But I mean, I've been getting out there as much as I can at this point with 40.
Well, and you're hunting every other weekend, so that's there's just something, you know, like that's.
I mean, it's spring bear hunting. It's not the most athletic hunt, but yeah. I've been trying to get out there 3 times a week, do a couple K up. I live in a pretty mountainous region, so try and get out just around the house and hike a couple K after work and try and do it that way. But I mean, I'm 25 years old. I'll survive.
Yeah, you guys have youth on your side. I do not. I am an old bastard. And you're out of town working most times. So you're just working all day and go back to a hotel.
Yeah, so I got my pack. I got that same shackle I had on before, that 50-pound shackle or whatever. So I just go out after, throw the hiking boots on, and go find a place to hike around or whatever. So when I'm out of town, it's easy to stay in shape. But when I'm in town and you're trying to catch up on shit, that's when you fall behind. But so it's been going good so far. Just breaking in those hand legs. So, but they're stiff. But man, I like them so far. They've been so comfy, even just the break-in process. So
yeah, we'll
see if it gets worse. But
I loved mine. They ended up being a bit too small. Just as I got older, my feet started to flatten out a bit. And I sold them to somebody, and I think I actually got a couple $100 for them. I love those boots though. For what I'm doing on my end, so I'm still doing 2, that hike we did.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I still do that twice a week with a 45-pound plate. I did it today actually. And then I've just started like a mini cut. So I weighed 257 pounds last week, and I actually lost 5 pounds while bear hunting. I don't know how, because I could kind of ate like shit. But I think it's also just not training, like lifting for a week. You just lose a bit of glycogen from your muscles and you just kind of lean out a bit. But my goal is I want to lose another 8 to 10 pounds. So I'm going to just go into like a mild caloric deficit for the next 8 weeks. Still try and keep my strength up. Hike 2 times a week for the next 4 weeks. And right now I have a 4-day training split at the gym. So I do chest and shoulders one day, back and rear shoulders another day, arms on the 3rd day, and legs on the 4th day. And as soon as we hit July 1st, I'm going to stop training legs, and I'm going to crank it up to 3 hikes a week. Because the reason I can only hike 2 days a week is that I train legs, and then my legs are so fucked I can't hike until the opposite end of the week, right? Like I got to give it 2 to 3 days off, and then I have to give my legs 2 to 3 days off hiking to go back and train legs. So then starting July, I'll do 3 days a week hiking, 3 days a week in the gym, and I'd like to hit the trailhead at like 245. So I think that's pretty reasonable. Drop another 7 pounds or something. So that's where I'm at.
Shoulders so big, you got to split them up, eh?
Well, it's funny because my shoulders are actually messed up. So I used to do an entire dedicated shoulder day, but I can't really do that anymore. So I'm doing more of like a push-pull split. So I just do like, because you're already getting kind of your front delts with most of your pushing chest movements. So all I really do is add in a shoulder press into my chest day and then a rear delt movement into my back day. Yeah. And then I kind of figure like good enough.
Yeah, no, exactly. Cool.
Okay, sick.
Cool.
All right. Well, we will keep in touch and probably do another one of these maybe in 4 to 6 weeks once it gets closer and we've kind of like finalized all our stuff and we're ready to go. And maybe if anybody's got any questions, you can hit me up on Instagram, mindful_hunter. Shoot me an email, j@mindfulhunter.com, or this will be up on YouTube as well. So just to leave a comment in the posts. And because I haven't mentioned it in the last 10 podcasts, if everybody could take a minute and either share, subscribe, throw up a like, and most importantly, if you're listening to this on like a podcast platform, go give it a 5-star rating and leave a little written review, because that really helps the algorithm and kind of get it pushed up. And for the size of the podcast, we're doing really good with the amount of engagement from the audience. So I just want to let everybody know that I appreciate you all for taking the time to do that. I know you don't got to do it. And it means a lot. So thank you for taking the time to do that. Other than that, I guess we'll chat soon, boys. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, no, thanks for having
thank
us.
you, man.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
See ya.